Hello, I'm Donna Dewberry, the creator of the one-stroke painting technique, and today I'm going to do my favorite flower, and that's the cabbage rose. So I am updating a little bit because I have a few tricks over the years that make it easier for you to learn how. I'm using a wonderful fluffy paint. This is Folk Art Multi-Surface Paint by Plaid Enterprises, and what they have done is they've made lots of one-stroke product for us and we love it, and they have an innovative paint at all times, so that's pretty amazing. And what I've done is I've used this because of numerous reasons. I want you to show I've used a light green and a dark green. I use a white and a yellow, and I'm using a magenta and some aqua touches I'm going to put in here. And one of the things I use with this is floating medium. Now floating medium comes in two sizes. It comes in 8 ounces or 2 ounces. And what's wonderful about the floating medium is the fluff that's inside paint with no pigment, no color. So you're going to see me using this a lot. And let me show you what happens first. Okay? What I like most is that this paint is fluffy. That's the consistency you need because we don't use water. We want this nice fluffy paint. So the floating medium makes it so it goes on smoothly. So whenever you think you might need water, you don't. You go use some floating medium. All right, so this is multi-surface, which means glass, metal, ceramic, wood, canvas. As you can see, I'm working on my canvas today. And I'm going to load my palette and I've got a bunch of floating medium there. I'm going to load my palette, and what I'm doing is I have magenta for my rose, and I've used the berry wine lots of times, but see how thick? You want it to be that thick, so that's nice. The white is going to be next to it. So let me show you what I do on my palette. I'm going to put it out here, and I'm going to leave a little space in between. All right, so when I created this technique, I created it because I have 7 children and I wanted to have something quick and easy where I could paint on metal and different surfaces. When I painted on metal, you can't base coat and go back and blend because it will pick up the paint. So what I did was create a technique out of necessity because we're painting thousands of watering cans and French buckets every single week, so every single month actually. And so what happened is I went with a paint company that has, when they found me, I loved it because they had this fluffy good consistency for the paint. All right, so now we even have paints that do even lots more than that. So my floating medium is just going to be on here on the side a little bit. I think you can see that if you look. It's just a clear medium, and many people ask me what paper I'm painting on. That's usually newsprint, or when I'm practicing, sometimes it's on cardstock, like when people are working on my skill builders with me when they're learning the technique. Now, what I love about this paint is see how fluffy the paint is when you put it on your palette. All right, so now I'm going to use flat brushes. So I use a 3/4 inch flat, a 12. I'm going to use an angle brush to show you some quick, easy leaves. And I want you to think as we're doing this that this is an 8. That makes some cute leaves. And my script liner. Now what I want you to see as we're doing this is that you can take this technique with any flat brush all the way down to a 2. I have many people that paint nails with this technique, and they I painted jewelry inside watches, all kinds of fun things. So my technique is made where I'm coming in between these two. Now you might see a video where I've done something different, but what's happened over the years is I found I have a double loader that you can load in at the beginning if you're having struggles. But I've always used a foam plate or a paper plate from all these years. Now I want you to see that I'm going back and forth, and I'm going quick, and not because I want you to be fast, but I'm going back and forth so that we're filling up the inside. Look, inside of this brush. People say, my brush is splitting, what's wrong? It's because you need paint inside. So if you go go back and forth. We're double loading. Now double loading sometimes means 2/3 and 1/3, or 3/4 and 1/4. So on this, I want the magenta to be the depth. And what you're having to do when you paint your roses with me is that you're having to leave the dark on the inside to get the depth. Now I have a couple of things that I want to share with you. I start here and here, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Now that is to blend my paint. And as I go 1, 2, 3, my brush is down and ready to stroke. Now, I usually tell you to keep your handle straight up and down. I'm leaning it just a little bit for you to see, but I want you to go 1, 2, 3, and I want you to scrub. See this movement with my hand is a scrubbing motion. So when I'm scrubbing, all you have to do at this point is pull. All right. Now, if you don't pull quick enough, a lot of people do this. They have a nervous shake, I tell them. That's a nervous shake. See, they're not moving very quickly, and quick enough. And I don't want you to be real fast, but I want you to have a nice, smooth wiggle. Okay? Now, there's something that happens right here. Can you see that inverted V-like? If you take it, overlap this corner as you do the next petal, then that puts you in the right placement to have at least, like, usually about 5 petals. Now, one thing I tell people to do to make this easy, now I base coated this with my sponge and the citrus green that we used here, yeah. But one thing I do, just to get the right size, is I want it the size of the palm of your hand when you first do this, because this helps you to learn the size. And I'm putting white because if you put the dark, you won't be able to see. I mean, the dark will come through. Now watch this. I keep coming over here almost every stroke. I'm going to overlap the corner. Oops, 1, 2, 3, because I'm going the reverse way here. Now the thing that you have to do, more paint, is to make sure, see now I've got this muddy here, so I'm going to wipe it off, pick up fresh paint, and I'm going to come right here and come around. Now I want you to see that all I want is you to paint each stroke and make each stroke pretty. So what you're seeing here is, see how I can restroke over it without any problem? But I want pretty scallops on the outside edge. And I do my starter stroke. And you don't have to have little V's everywhere, because I really tell you to look at the outside, not the inside. But this is exactly what we want. Now, what I've done here, I want you to see how it's a scallop, but right here it kind of went straight. See my scallops are fan around. So right here, I can go right there and just restroke it if I needed to. Now, how many do I have? I have 6, but that's okay. Sometimes you have 5, sometimes you have 6. All right, now or it depends on the size of the brush you're using. Now I'm picking up fresh paint, and I want you to see whichever way my rosebud is going to be placed is where I put the 2 lines for my rosebud. So I can have it facing down, to the side, to the left or right. All right, so now I want this to be shorter than the outside edge. So I want you to see that I got fresh paint, and I'm going to come up and over the rainbow. So it's up and over. Now what has to happen is I have to see the white, pink, magenta, and I want this to be from here to there, come up and over. Now you go to the exact same 2 lines. You can do 2 things. You can come over here part way and make it roll inside, or you can come all the way to the outside. And if you've made it where where it doesn't show depth, see, I need it to show depth. I can restroke it. Watch this. I can come down and then slide up, and look how you can see inside the rosebud. All right. Now this is what we're going to do every time. I don't know if y'all can see me. Every time I'm going over here and getting fresh paint. See those 2 lines right there and right there? You're going to start at that line over here, and you're going to stroke another one of those wonderful fan strokes. I call it a shell because it looks like a scallop shell almost. Now there's one side that's more difficult. If you're lefty, this one's more difficult. If you're righty, that one, no. If you're righty, that one's difficult. All right, so now what I do with my rose is tilted. So what happens is it's tight back there, and as you come here, remember I'm crossing the edge. Lots of people think they start right here. You start on the corner by crossing the corner. Okay, now see, this color is perfect because I see the depth and I see the white fresh petals. All right, now it depends on what size your rose is for your shell that you're putting here. If it takes 4 or more, and you also see how we progress. So that's perfect right there. I never am worried about what this middle looks like, but at this point, many times people mess up the center. So I want you to restroke it if you need to. Okay. So I'm going to come right here now. You've started everything on these 2 lines, and the height right up there exactly where I started before. I only do one that's more difficult. The rest of them I do the way that's comfortable. And by the way, you can pick this up and move it around. I'm just not going to during this video. All right, so I'm going to start right here. Lean the white out. Can you see this? I'm leaning the white out and I'm lifting the magenta. All right, smooth, and come across the center of that rosebud. Okay, I'm going to get fresh paint over here. I'm going to come right here. I'm leaning the white out. I lift up the magenta and slide right underneath there. Okay, I don't really like that shape much, so I can actually, remember, you can always restroke. All right, and then the next stroke, I'm going to go first to the right, then to the left, then I'm going to come right here, lean the white out and slide across. And look, you can even lean this white out here and wiggle a little bit and slide. How cool is that? So you could leave it just like that. You only need 3, and then how many you need to fill in. So I can even come right here again and put just a little bit. So isn't that a pretty full cabbage rose? I think that makes it really fun. I'm going to show you real quick a bud that I would put over here. I would put a rosebud. Look, I can wiggle the bud and don't do a full shell. I can come in here, then I come out here again and make another U. And I can come out a little bit and make a little piece going across, but I'm going to fill some leaves up there. And to finish this, guys, I'm going to have 2 more over here. So I want you to see that that rosebud is one of the easiest things we do, but I can't even tell you how many rosebuds I put on things that I've marketed or sold because people love that rosebud. Now this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take and just wipe this off. No water, okay? Now let's put our leaves and we'll show you how fast this project goes. We're going to pick up a little bit of white with our green and dark green, light green and dark green. Actually, let's do those first. And then I pick up a little bit of white. And I can come over here too and work it in. I can do pick up here and go over here and work it in. Pick up a little bit more white. All right, now that exact rose, let me show you what's so fun here. I can come right up here and make like a spread open wide Y. And then I'm going to say, here's a magnet in the middle. Say that's your magnet. I'm going to start right here and go 1, 2, 3. And look, there's my cabbage rose seashell. All I'm going to do after I do that is stand up, stand up, stand up, and slide to a point. So 1, 2, 3, scrub, do my seashell, but look, in the middle is a magnet. See, every time I wiggle, it comes back to that magnet. See how that light color stays in the middle, and then I stand up and slide. Now, I can restroke this because it didn't match like I wanted it, and that's the beauty of it. And then I take my chisel and I come right along there. Now see that light tinge of pink? How pretty is that? That's from leaving the pink in the brush when I wiped it out instead of washing it out. I can do a few strokes over here. I want you to see that this is fun and quick, and the people really enjoy how fast they can accomplish something that they feel like looks pretty. Okay, and we're going to come in here now and get our smaller brush. All right, and here's my angle brush. Now the hardest thing with my angle brush is deciding what's going to be on the point. So I'm going to put white and light green on that point, and I can even add some pink in here. How fun is that? Now look what's going to happen. I'm going to come here and lay the, all right, this is the toe, that's the heel. I'm going to put the toe down and pull the heel up onto the bud. Push, stand up, and then it makes really nice little stems. Okay, get some more paint. Let's do the same thing here. Push, lift. I'm going to even add a little bit more white. See the toes following? All right. And right here. Now, one stroke painting, I created it, I told you all these years ago when I was raising my children. It's all over the world now, which is so fun. I have over 14,000, 15,000 instructors around the world at this point. And they're out there sharing with many of you in many languages right online. So I love that part. All right, so now I'm going to show there's a couple of ways we can come out here and do some dark leaves. Okay. We're going to put some curly cues and we're going to be done. So while I'm finishing this up with this little baby angle brush, this is fun, guys. You put 3 and you pull your stem right when it's wet. So stroke a stroke, pull a stem. I want you to know that I have a website that I would love for you to come visit. It's onestroke.com. We have a website, a Facebook site, which is Donna Dewberry's official, because lots of people are One Stroke now, official One Stroke group, and we love to share there what's going on, and it shows you where I'm going to be locally or maybe in your area, so you never know. So come check me out. And we have a campaign going right now, so we would love for you to subscribe if you haven't already, if you like what I'm sharing with you. Tell me some ideas in the comments about what you're waiting to see from me. And I want you to share with your friends if you would. All right, if you're having a good time, I want you to see that I'm going to make a muddy inky. And I also have Instagram, and my social media will be in the description, so you can find out a materials list and how to get with me on my social media. If you subscribe, you'll find out whenever new videos are going to be on, and Christian and I are working really hard on getting them out at least once a week. So have a free class on me. I love it. And we can share One Stroke around the world. So how fun is that? Now, script liners last. Inky. So that means we do water. We're going next to our sap green. We're going to dip 3 times and make a really nice puddle. Roll the brush. Pull out. Okay. I'm going to hold the brush like this and move it like a pencil, then I move it to my first knuckle. I'm going to take my finger, my little finger, I'm going to pull from here, 1, 2, 3, reverse direction. Then you've got enough paint to go for a while here, and we are done. So thank you for watching. I hope you come back for many more, and I'll see you next time.